and welcome to the show. Tonight, I have a wonderful treat for you, my senior recital. 11 of my friends and I will be presenting 6 pieces that I've written here at BGSU. Throughout the performance, you will be dazzled, amazed, tickled, figuratively, and maybe even frightened. You may laugh, you may cry, you may even scream, but please do so at the appropriate times. Speaking of, a note on concert etiquette for the less seasoned concertgoers. If you feel the need to leave the hall during the performance, please do so during the applause before and after the pieces. As I said, there are only 6, and each is shorter than 10 minutes. Of course, if there is some sort of emergency, medical or otherwise, that would be an exception. Speaking of applause, please wait until you are absolutely sure the piece is over, which is usually made obvious by the performers shifting to a relaxed position and smiling at the audience. Luckily, none of the pieces tonight have movements in the traditional sense, but it is traditionally considered rude to clap in between them. Finally, cell phones have had a vibrate mode since 1996, 7 years before I was born. The iPhone was released in 2007, the Samsung Galaxy in 2009. But I'm willing to bet that most folks in this room have had a phone of some sort for the past 5 years. And at that point, I think you should know how to set it to vibrate and turn off your alarms, or even just shut off your phone. In fact, I gave you physical programs with reading material, and hopefully my performance is interesting enough that you won't feel the need to go on your phone at all. So please, with all love and respect, turn the sound off your phone. If your phone does go off during the performance, after the piece, which is finished without you interrupted, I will ask the audience members to point and laugh at you. And if these instructions are still confusing to anyone, welcome to TrainWreck and enjoy the show. This is the story of how I was late to class. Once upon a time, I went to a hockey game with my girlfriend. Well, at the time she was my girlfriend. Now she's my ex-girlfriend. Anyway, we were at this hockey game. I didn't know that there would be ice skating cheerleaders. I thought that was impressive. And my girlfriend used to be a cheerleader, so I leaned over and said, "You should learn how to do that." And she left me right there and then. I realized that probably wasn't a cool thing to say. So I chased after her and I found her in an empty field outside the rink. And I told her, "Hey, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make a joke. I think you're amazing." But she said, "You know my kind can't ice skate. We'd melt right through the ice." "Your kind?" I said. "What the heck are you talking about?" And then she proceeded to rip her face off, revealing bright red skin and big black eyes. "You're an alien." "Yes, I told you that months ago." It was then I realized, I remembered her telling me that she was from Venus on our second date. I guess I thought she was joking. So I tell her, "Gosh, I'm so sorry. I've been a terrible partner, haven't I? How can I possibly make it up to you? Well, it's almost the time when we have to make a sacrifice to glorp out the just. Well, I knew I had to do whatever I could to make it up to her, so I went along with it. So there I was, on Venus. And let me tell you, it was quite literally hot as hell. I was being led by a handful of armed Venusians to this huge platform with a bunch of drummers playing a very unsettling rhythm. Gosh, I was scared. But what was I gonna do, upset my girlfriend? Hell no! Suddenly, the platform opened up, and a large, bulbous creature sitting on a large chair rose from under the ground. I am Lord of the Just. Kneel before me! So we kneeled. But, with immense luck, one of the drummer's sticks flew out of their hand and hit Womp in the eye. He was mad. How dare you hit Womp in the eye? You shall be my sacrifice. The drummer screamed as Womp picked them up and ate them whole. I took my chance and started running. Haven't figured out guns yet, so I only got a few nicks from their spears. I went to the ship bay where we had landed and found a small single-pilot ship. To my surprise, the control system was almost identical to an Xbox One controller. I soared off into space, happy to escape certain death. I crash landed right in front of my apartment, and with a smile on my face, I went directly to bed. The next morning, I had a therapist appointment, and then I had a class right after. My car was totaled by the spaceship, but I still had my bicycle. I made it to my appointment on time, and I told her the whole story. I don't know, Doc. I just can't help but feel like it's all my fault. Well, it kind of is. Thanks, that makes me feel so much better. Well, even if it is your fault, you have to forgive yourself and learn from your mistakes. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Anyway, that went on for about an hour, and I realized I was about to be late to class. I got on my bike and started speeding down the road, and out of nowhere, my bike chain fell off and broke. So, I had to walk all the way to class. was 15 minutes late.
That's the end of the piece.
scratch, scrape, pinch, surgically slice, excruciating, but satisfying, severed, but singular, lacerated, exposed. But such pain becomes a eggs, muscly fragment, red-faced,
We will now have a brief intermission.
Way to go, Zach. Good job. Who are you waiting
going to do something a little unorthodox. Going to end with two little folk songs. So I wanted to show. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming out on this fine Tuesday night. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. Tonight we're going to end with two little folky songs because I wanted to show as many aspects of my musical identity as I could. But before that, I have a lot of people to thank for tonight. Firstly, I have to thank all my wonderful people that helped me out put this performance together. One of them's right there. I think the rest are back there. Yeah, I quite literally couldn't do it without them, and it means a lot that you guys are all here. Adjacently, thank you to my friend Tommy and to Jan for recording and streaming and helping me figure out all the tech stuff. Yeah, it was quite a hassle to do that. Next, I want to thank the composition faculty for all they've done to support and encourage my musical endeavors. I also want to thank the Ashmores for teaching me how to sing well. I learned more in my first semester than I had previously in my 18 years of life. Finally, I want to thank all my family and friends for coming to see me, but especially I want to thank my mom, who in more ways than one I wouldn't be here without.
Amen, amen, amen.
All right, a little bit of transparency. I don't have all the words memorized, so bear with me. I have most of them on my phone screen, but the first couple verses. You know what? Just Can you hear the whistle blowing? It's time to go, it's the only show. If I'm late, there's no way of knowing how to get back on track. Tell me where the grass is greener. Show me things I haven't seen, or tell me the good things I've been, or how I can get back on track. Will I crash? For I run out of steam. Will I wake before I finish the dream? I can run, but will the train wait for me? I can run. Will I ever leave? I've been burned by love before. They wait so long but ask for more. What the hell are they waiting for? I want to be back on track. There's too much I still don't know, like where's the end or which way to go. It seems too fast but feels too slow. I must be way off track. For an ovation. until my feet are sore. Take a break, then walk some more. What the hell am I waiting for? I think I can get back on track.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right.